Morning everyone, welcome back to the shed. We won't be here for long though. I'm loaded up, I'm off to Broadford for a track day. So it's a 400 odd K drive from where I am. So I'll head up in a couple of hours, stay the night up there, and then tomorrow morning I'm with Southwest Track Days, do another day. I've got the RC set up with wet tyres. The conditions aren't supposed to be that good tomorrow, so I'm figuring I'm going to spend most of my time on that. But I'm also taking the 890. I haven't been on this yet. I haven't ridden it. Haven't even ridden it around the block. If the conditions give me a chance, I'll jump on it. But as you can see, fresh as fresh tyres. So we'll see what it's like. And if it's all right, I might get that off the trailer as well and have a bit of a go. But otherwise, big drive. Hopefully I enjoy getting on the bike. So shed's ready to go. It's full of fuel. Tyres up. Cooper's going to miss me. But anyway, we'll get out there and do it. Rightio, we're about an hour north of Warrnambool. I just wanted to stop and show you what we look at this time of year. Have a look at this. As far as the eye can see, you've got canola fields. Absolutely looks sensational when these flowers come out. Just looks brilliant. And they're everywhere. The side of the road over there, through the trees, as far as the eye can see, canola fields. Look bloody brilliant. Rightio, let's go get it. Rightio, quick stop in Ballarat. Need something to eat. Are we going in there? Golden Up Chinese restaurant. I drive 2 hours from Ballarat just to have these guys dim sims. Rightio, we're here. Unfortunately, weather's not looking real good today, which is what I spoke about. Right now, it's been raining like a fair bit overnight. Right now, the skies are adequately clear, but it's supposed to just keep pouring on us all day. So there's a fair bet that the 890 will probably stay on the trailer today, but I'll use the RC. But anyway, this is a Broadford State Motorcycle Sports Complex. There's a lot of stuff here. We've got a road circuit and a motocross circuit out this way. Dirt track, speedway. Got Supercross up there. There's a pretty big thing here. It's maybe an hour north of Melbourne, hour and a bit, something like that. So we'll head around and get set up. Rightio, so set up two groups today. There's below and above 500 cc's at the Southwest Track Days Broadford event. The under 500s, which is what I'm in on the RC, have already done our track walk. So the bigger group is out there doing the track walk now, so we're just getting sorted. There's 18 bikes, so should get a fair old run. Should be good. Rightio, made it back, which is a good start. My drive up on Sunday turned out to be a bit of a rough one. Later on, I got pretty cooked late in the day. I was physically sick in my accommodation that night and didn't get a lot of rest. So when Monday morning came around, I was really below the weather, a bit cloudy in my mind and stuff like that. So I was pretty worried going into the day anyway. And then new track, never ridden that, and anyone that's ridden on track before knows that as you're learning a new track can get a little bit difficult when you're doing it. G'day, Coop. Was raining full on, like it was wet, really, really wet. Now, I've never track ridden in the rain before. I did have some race sweats on that I spoke about, but getting used to a new track, being as wet as what it was, and in the health condition I thought I was going to have a pretty rugged day. Turns out that I learned a lot. I got a pretty good understanding with grip. having the ability to get confidence in what the bike can do and what the tyres can do and all that kind of stuff, go away, buddy, goes a long way to making you feel a fair bit better. So I'm glad that that worked. Now, I'll play the video of my last session. In that session, I ended up doing 7 laps in total before I pulled in, and there was a 0.3 of a second variance from my fastest to my slowest lap in that session. I think on the tape, I think I've got maybe 4 laps at pace on the tape, but anyway, it gives you a bit of a good idea of what the track's like. Now, you'll see when you head down the straight, I really struggled to get my braking markers correct. Just past the 100-meter mark where you start to do your tip in, you'll see the track goes up an incline, really steep incline. So it'll be, it's more than 2 stories high, I reckon, from the bottom to the top. So you're coming down, and when you're used to braking to a particular strength level and things like that, it's hard to teach yourself to not brake the bike like that, because you're already going into a corner that's going to wipe off a lot of the speed for you. So modifying your thought process is something that's a little bit difficult, and when you're so new at track riding and stuff like I am, it was just an extra thing that I didn't need on the day to try and learn. You go up that hill, and first and second it's really a double apex wide corner, I guess you would call it. It's really one corner, but with 2 apexes. So 1 and 2. You'll see then we head into the straight. So just as I go over the crest, has a little kink to the left. They classify that as the 3rd corner. Then it goes downhill and it drops a bit over 1 story, I guess you would say. So especially on the small capacity bike, on the 390, it helps you build a fair bit of momentum because you're getting that downhill run. And then heads back uphill as you go into the 4th corner. Okay, that's called Crash Corner, that one, and it gets its name exactly for that reason. People just get it wrong all the time. So I was riding a new track in the rain on wet tyres and thinking, don't become a crash corner victim. At the start of the day when we did our track walk, in my group there were 4 people that have ridden there a fair bit, and of the 4 people, 3 of them had come off on that corner. They all had stories of running wide and etc. So that was in the back of my mind as well. You head out, you start going downhill straight away, you go around a right-hand kink, and then you come through some S's. Now, one of the things that my coach was talking at the start of the day was, every time you shift your body, the suspension changes as you do it, and it unsettles the bike. So we were focusing on, as we were coming to that, going down the hill through that first kink, that we're shifting our body off to the right-hand side of the bike. We've got 1 bum cheek off, and we go round the kink, and then as you head through the S's, we'll go through the first S, and then we were simply using counter steering to tip the bike back over through the second part of the S. We weren't changing where our body was actually sitting on the bike, so it was 1 less movement to have to think of in quick succession, and that then put us in the exact right body position to basically tuck down to then flip through on the 3rd corner of that S. Now, as you flip through that 3rd corner, the corner goes from being on camber to slightly off camber just as you crest it. So it took a fair bit to get my confidence through there. I know I can ride faster through there, but I think I did a pretty good job on my first time. We're then heading back downhill to School Corner. There's an old school classroom on the side of the track. I really didn't get my braking markers right there. So when you watch this video coming up of my track time, you'll notice that each time I was just braking too early. I was being a little bit too timid. That next corner is actually 2 corners once again. You'll see the 2 witches' hats on the inside giving us our 2 apexes. Basically the track is 3 asphalt seams wide, and through that corner, if you can let yourself drift out slightly wide of that right-hand seam, it puts you basically in the right spot so that when you get to the second part of the corner, you can basically pull yourself down and just really hook in, and you're going to roll straight through that corner. Now, normally we we'll talk about you going wide from side to side and utilising a lot of the track and stuff like that when we can. Sit down, buddy. Sit. On that next one, you find that you don't go too wide on the track. You kind of stay mid-track before you do the flicking into that last double turn again. So there's 3 double turns on this one. So people that battle with 2 apexes and trying to get an understanding of a gradual quarter and things like that, it's a tough one. But on that last corner, you see that witch's hat and you tip into it, and then as soon as you tip into it, you've de-accelerated, you've got your braking right, and then as soon as you tip in, the corner starts to climb up the hill again. So on the small bike, you're then chasing that momentum. I struggled to get my apex for the second part of that corner correct. It just didn't make sense, and you'll notice that because I couldn't get that one right, I was really struggling on my exit back onto the straight. I wasn't wide enough. There was 2, 3, sometimes 4 meters worth of asphalt on the right hand side of me, and that's all wasted space for not building more momentum going forward. So I can't wait to get back there. I can't wait to get back to Broadford. I look forward to having dry tyres on there. Having seen what it's like riding in the rain, it'll be really good to have a crack in the dry again. So I'll flick this video over and you can watch a few of the laps, and I'll catch you in just a second. Okay, so you see what I mean? You head down that straight, and as soon as you tip it into one, it's like a really steep embankment going up. So bigger bikes that have got a bit more torque are going to do a fair bit better than low capacity bikes. I didn't get the 890 off the trailer. The conditions just weren't where I wanted them to be to ride a bike I hadn't ridden, and it's just got super coarser tyres on it. So I didn't want to be pushing too hard in the wet on that one. So I just stayed on the little bike. But you can see what I mean with that first corner being a double apex. It's so wide, there's so much room. So if you kind of end up in the wrong spot, it's okay. You can still get yourself back into the right spot in the second part of the corner to a degree, but it's definitely a hard one to get your braking marker right and trust that the corner's going to wipe off so much of that speed. The back straight was all relatively self-explanatory. The only thing we're going to work on there is by the time I hit the 100-meter braking marker, I need to be further across to the left-hand side. So, you know, right on top of that white line in the dry, maybe that far off it in the wet. But you've got to be parallel with that white line if you want to hit the apex correct. And as you watch that video and you see what I was doing, I was still coming at the white line on an angle and then wanting to tip in. So that's more of a confidence and a practice thing. The more of it I do, the better I'm going to get. Those next couple of corners where you go downhill through the kinky, through the S's, they're a lot of fun. So I really, really look forward to hitting that stuff in the dry. I felt pretty comfortable and confident going through there. So as a newbie, I thought that was pretty good. I spoke about before the video missing my braking markers when I was going back down that hill into School Corner where the double is. It's a confidence thing. The bike's going to brake and turn and accelerate harder than what I'm capable of on the track. And I know that because you saw in that video one of the guys passed me on his R3. So he's got a motocross background. I don't have a strong motocross background or anything like that. So a lot of this is new to me. So he just commits a lot more because he goes and has a go. So if I can get myself to push a little bit more like he does, it will help me to build a bit more speed and my times will drop pretty well. So it was definitely worth getting across there. I'm back across to I think I'm at Mount Gambier next. No, we might have a day out here at the Warrnambool karting track. So once again on the 390. I found riding the small bike on the go-kart track really helps with braking markers, corner momentum, and especially body transition. You have to transition your body so fast when you've got such a short track. So I found that helped a lot. I'll be back over to Mount Gambier in about a month or so, I think. And then later in the year, so in December, I'm back to Mount Gambier again in December, and then off to Phillip Island. But I'll be definitely on the 890 when I head to Phillip Island. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, leave some comments, I'll try and answer them. I'm very new at this, as you can tell. I'm new at video making and I'm new at the bikes and stuff like that, so we'll see how we go. Hey darling, how are you? So stick around and see if we can get a little bit better. Cheers.